Hey guys, it's Frosting, and I'd like to welcome you to my Epic the Musical Song Ranking. First, before I say anything else in this video, I do want to apologize if I sound a little, weird or nasally at all. I had a sore throat yesterday, and now I'm trying to, get over that. So my body's like, hey, you want some mucus? And I'm like, no. And it's like, too bad. So we are pushing through. It doesn't really hurt to talk or anything, so I'll be fine. Just, if it sounds weird, that's why. So, here we go. Oh, and I'll edit the coughing out so y'all don't have to hear that. Yay. Alright, let's do this thing. I separated these tier lists separately. So Act 1 is on one slide, so anything from Troy through the Underworld. And then the second slide is the Thunder Saga through the Ithaca Saga, because it's in, the acts are separate. I think if I had all of them on one thing, I'd run out of room on the tier list. And I don't want to run out of room, so we're preparing for that. Alright. Act 1, here we go. Let's just get straight into it. First song I'm going to rank is No Longer You. I absolutely love this song because it is a great karaoke song, and the guy that sings it does an amazing job, and I'm very happy that he exists. So, you are going to go right up there. Boop. Alright, next up, I'm kind of just grabbing them at random. We've got Keep Your Friends Close. I really like this one, but it's definitely not a S tier epic song. To be fair, all of them are amazing songs, right? There's only two that I don't like out of the entire musical, and I'll mention that when they're there because both of them are in the first act. So, yay. No wait. 2.5, because we'll get there when we get there. Alright, so Keep Your Friends Close is a very good song, and I do enjoy listening to it. It's just not, a favorite song, and, I don't have to listen to it when I go listen to the soundtrack. So I think I'm going to put it in A, just because I do like what it's doing, and it gets stuck in my head really easily, and I was singing it to myself this morning before I started filming, so, Alright, let's see. Monster. This is an amazing song just because, you can see, the mental spiral that Odysseus is going through when he's doing it, because he's like, alright, fine, you know what? Fuck it. If the world's gonna be mean to me, I'm gonna be mean right back. And I'm like, you go, man. Do your thing. So, Monster's gonna go right up here. Wait. This thing is being annoying. Alright, there we go. Monster's going right up there. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do this one. This is the one where they're leaving Troy, and they're leaving Troy, and they see the Cyclops Island, and Polites is like, look, I see land. This isn't my favorite song. The Troy Saga isn't my favorite to begin with, so the songs are probably going to be ranked a little lower. But I think it's a solid B tier song. I don't hate it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it either. Alright, next up we have another S tier song, Ruthlessness. Jokingly, with my friends and family, or just my friends anyway, my family doesn't get to hear all that. But, I like to call Poseidon Poseidaddy, because I find myself funny, and, this song is part of the reason why, so we're just gonna chunk that right up there in S, and no one can stop me. What is happening? There we go. No? Hold on. This thing's being annoying. There we go. Alright, next up, we have Warrior of the Mind. Oh, what is going on with that? Alright. This is the first epic song I heard before I actually listened to the musical. I think I kept seeing, videos of it on the internet with, over, TikToks and YouTubes and stuff. So, this is definitely, the introduction to the fandom that I got, and I do very much enjoy it. So, but it's also not nearly as good as Keep Your Friends Close, but is better than Full Speed Ahead. Huh. Alright, we're gonna give it A tier, but I'm gonna put it at the bottom of A tier. Alright, last song from the Underworld saga is the song The Underworld. This one's just sad. I skipped this one when I listened to the soundtrack because I don't feel like crying. So, yeah, Odysseus' mom isn't necessary. Being reminded that Polites is dead, again, isn't necessary. So, because of the fact that it makes me cry, we're gonna put it in B. No, A. It's better than Full Speed Ahead. Anyway, hold on. Alright. Let's see. Next up we have My Goodbye. I don't really... Oh, wait, no, I know this one. Okay, my brain is, like, breaking in half right now. And my brain cells are committing suicide and jumping out the window. So, it's taken me a minute. Plus... Excuse me? Sorry, I just dropped my water bottle. Anyway, I woke up, like, 10 minutes before filming. Because I wanted to get this done before I could do anything else today. So, my brain isn't all here. So, I briefly forgot what that one was, and then remembered again. My Goodbye. I do like Athena. I don't know. I think it's not my favorite one, and clearly it's not memorable enough to go any higher, so we're putting it in there. Remember Them is also gonna go in B tier, just because, again, it's not my favorite song, and I'm, like, pretty okay with skipping it when I listen to it. Because I definitely have, I have a little playlist of my favorite Epic songs. That way I don't have to, deal with skipping stuff in the soundtrack. But this isn't on there. Alright. Speaking of the Cyclops saga, while I just did two of them, we have Polyphemus. This is a good song. I enjoy listening to this song. It's very lore heavy in it. Some of them are just, you can vibe. Some of them you have to, pay attention to the lyrics because there's, lore and story stuff in there. But this one is a very good song. But it's definitely not on the same level as The Underworld and Keep Your Friends Close and Warrior of the Mind. But it's not, but I think it's a little bit better than My Goodbye and Remember Them and Full Speed Ahead and stuff. So we're gonna put it at the bottom of A tier. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Bear with me, guys. I'm doing this on a Google slide at 10 in the morning, so we're struggling here. Alright, let's see. This one. I don't know, actually. I don't know. How do we feel about this song? I like it, but at the same time, I don't, listen to it constantly like I would No Longer You in Ruthlessness. So, I think for that reasoning, I'm gonna put it in A, just because, I think so far, how I'm ranking these mentally is, S tier is, my favorite songs, and the ones I absolutely love. A tier is just the really great songs that I might not listen to as much, and then B tier is just slightly worse than A. So, because of that, I'm gonna put it in A, just because it's not my favorite Epic song, but it's definitely there, and I do enjoy listening to it. Just not all the time. Alright, speaking of favorite Epic songs, we have Done For! This is immediately popping right up there into S tier, specifically because it is an amazing karaoke song if you need, duet stuff. My cousin Caden likes to do karaoke with me, so typically what we do is we find, duet songs that have both people in it, or songs that have one person singing with a bunch of background vocals, and we like to do those. So Little Wolf is another one we like to do because they get to be Telemachus, and then I get to be Athena, and then depending on the mood we decide who gets to be the other guy and the background people. Would You Fall in Love with Me Again's another great one. I like to sing The Challenge just because I like it. there's a whole ton of epic songs that are great for karaoke. Some of them are more like you need too many people for it, but there's a lot of them that are great if you've got one or two people and you need to just belt your heart out. They're great. I have a playlist of karaoke songs on my Spotify, and I love them. I'll make another video about it later. Anyway, let's move on here. Wouldn't you like? I feel like the entire Epic fandom would track me down and murder me in my sleep if I don't put it in S tier. So that's exactly where it's going. But I fully agree with the internet because it is an amazing song and it's great. And Troy is awesome. I don't know like a ton of his other stuff, but I follow him on Instagram and the videos are very silly. And we love him for that. I think the Hermes and Apollo one are my favorite, because I'm kind of sidetracking for a second, but Apollo, Hermes is like, I know we have different moms, but I'm father's favorite son. And Apollo's like, I'm literally the son. And then Hermes goes, yeah, son of a bitch. Oh, I love that. It's a great video. I would put it in here, but I don't want to deal with copyright at all, so I'm not playing music or putting it in, but it's great, and we love Troy, so that gets to go up there, anything to support Troy. Alright, now we're getting into the remainder of the first one, so we're gonna go over here. Luck Runs Out. I'm putting this in B. It's just not as good as everything else that I have in the A tier. It just isn't. So it needs to go in B tier. But I do like that song. And even though it isn't my favorite, every time like the chorus of that song comes on, I can just imagine Eurylochus doing the Macarena in my head. Like, if you think about it, it fits. I don't really know how to like demonstrate it, but because I can't really sing right now, but you get the point. Look it up if you're interested, because it's hilarious. And it's very fun whenever you listen to that song to just do the Macarena. I do also like that song, though. I think I'm putting it in B partly just because it's not as good as everything else on this list, but also Eurylochus needs to shut the fuck up. He's one of my least favorite characters, and the amount of times I cheered whenever he was struck by Zeus at the very end there, yeah. Alright. Next up we have... What are you? Survive. Okay. Imagine dying in a song called Survive, though. Polites. He's my favorite character out of Epic the Musical. I think him and Telemachus both are my favorites. And I'm not very happy about the fact that Polites died. How dare he? So, because of the fact that I'm not very happy about that, and I skipped this song because I've been traumatized, we're putting it in B tier. Alright, next we get into the not as great department. Alright, Open Arms. Same situation as Survive, where I don't listen to it a ton just because I don't want to be reminded of the fact that Polites is dead. But Open Arms is a great song, and I do really like it. When I'm not, when I'm not in my weird Polites mood, I will happily listen to it. So, we're gonna put that right there in A tier. Boop. Oh, I didn't mean to shrink it. You didn't see anything. Alright. Next up, we have Just a Man. This is the only song from Troy that deserves S tier. It is the only one. It is also a good karaoke song. It's fun. I really like the concept of Odysseus, struggling with, his very first, what do I do? He hasn't even gone on the grand journey that is Epic the Musical yet, and he's already contemplating if he's a good person or not by eating a baby off a tower. You know what I mean? It's just a great, start to the musical, and I happily enjoy that. This one, however, I don't know where to put it, because I do enjoy listening to it. It's just not my favorite Epic song. A, yeah, I'm going to put it in A, just because it's better than everything else that I have in B tier, but it's not as good as everything I have in S tier, so we're doing that. Okay, now, these two. The very last two songs of Epic the Musical, boy, do I have words. Alright, Storm. It's going right down there in C tier, because I do not like that song. I really do not like that song. Everybody in that song needs to shut the fuck up, and I think it's very repetitive, and I'm just not a fan. I think it's the only Epic song that I skip out of instead of just not wanting to listen to it right now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're putting it down there. And then Puppeteer is more complicated than that, because the second half of that song, where Cersei is singing, I love the second half. But the first half, when Telemachus is attempting to rap, again, Eurylochus needs to shut the fuck up. And any songs that have him in it, I'm not a fan of. So, for that purpose, I'm going to put it down here with Storm in C tier. Puppeteer, I might still listen to if I want to hear the Cersei part, but sometimes I just straight up fast forward Eurylochus because he's annoying. Alright, that is it for Act 1 of the Epic Song Ranking. In S tier, we have No Longer You, Ruthlessness, Wouldn't You Like, Monster, Done For, and Just a Man. In A tier, we have Keep Your Friends Close, The Underworld, There Are Other Ways, Warrior of the Mind, Polyphemus, Open Arms, and The Horse and the Infant. In B tier, we have Full Speed Ahead, My Goodbye, Remember Them, Luck Runs Out, and Survive. In C tier, we have Storm and Puppeteer. Alright, let's go on to the next one, shall we? Act 2. Here we go. Alright, let's just start off with a good one. Boop. We're starting out with the challenge because I was talking earlier about how it's a really good karaoke song, and it is one of my favorite Epic songs because of that. So I'm going to shove that right up there in S tier without any more question about it. I'm also going to put this one in S tier while I have it out, just because I was talking about it earlier. So that's that. Let's see. Next up, we have this one. Out of all of my Epic the Musical listening days, I still have no idea how to pronounce that. So, because they don't actually say his name in the song. You know? He's just like, he just calls him a monster. Or he just like, I don't really know what else he calls him, but Odysseus just calls it a monster, and that's about it. He doesn't, like, say his name, you know? But I do really like this song, and it's very underrated, so we're gonna put it in A. It's definitely not a favorite, but it's underrated, so A tier you go. Boop. Alright, what is this one? Get in the Water. S tier, without a doubt. Boop. Go get up there. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this besides the fact that I've already mentioned that I love Poseidon and that he's great, so we're putting him up there in S tier. Almost all of his songs are S tier, actually. He really only has 600 Strike, Get in the Water, and Ruthlessness, and all of those are going to go in S tier. If I can find it... Hold on. No, I don't want to do that. There it is. Alright, 600 Strike is going to go up here in S tier too while I'm mentioning it, because Poseidon songs are amazing. We love Poseidon. Alright, let's see. Next up, we'll do Little Wolf, because, again, I was talking about this earlier, about how it's a really good karaoke song, and that I really like Telemachus as a character. So I don't really have anything else to say about it, besides the fact that the first time I heard this song, I didn't know that the suitor guy, however you say his name, was going to be, like, super duper evil later on. I thought he was just going to be, like, a mild inconvenience, and, my thoughts on that guy are interesting. Because on one hand, I'm like, no, how dare you do that to Telemachus and Penelope? You're an evil. But at the same time, I'm over here like, hello, handsome. So, yeah. I'm putting Little Wolf in S tier, though, just because I really like Athena and Telemachus, and the whole thing is great. And, I don't remember if I've mentioned this in this video or not, but I think I definitely like the second half of Epic the Musical songs better than the first half. You know, like the later songs are better than the earlier songs. So that's definitely influenced in my ranking. You know, like so far, the other one was very like, it was pretty evenly spread out between S, A, and B, right? And then we had a couple in C. This one so far is only S and 1A. So, you know, you can kind of see it coming. Alright, speaking of ranking songs lower, Mutiny. I'm putting this in C tier because I'm not the biggest fan of the song, and Eurylochus needs to shut the fuck up again. And it's just not my favorite thing to listen to. You know what I mean? I'm just not, like, a huge fan of it, and I usually skip it when it comes on. It's also a really long song. Like, hang on, let me pull it up real quick. It's a 4-minute song. Who has time to listen to a 4-minute song? Alright, anyway. So, Mutiny goes down there just because it's a really long song, and I don't have time for that. And Eurylochus needs to shut the fuck up. I really wish that he got crushed by the Cyclops instead of Polites. I feel like things would have turned out better if that's what happened. Speaking of being crushed and murder and all that stuff, Odysseus. The song where he goes on a murder spree. I love it, but it's not one of my favorite songs. We're putting it in there. I just find it really entertaining to listen to because of the fact that Odysseus is essentially, like, sick of everyone's bullshit and is going on a murder quest, you know? I love it. Although, I don't know, like, how accurate it is to actual, like, mythology. I don't know how accurate any of this is, because I don't know, like, I know nothing about Greek mythology besides this and a few random facts I know. But other than that, I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that in Greek mythology, Odysseus kills Telemachus thinking that he's a suitor. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard somewhere, and I'm really glad that he doesn't in this song, but you still get the point, and, like, thinking about that's kind of sad, but besides that song, this is a great song. I love it. Definitely great song. Alright, let's spread some of these out here. Oh, what? I didn't want to elongate that. Alright, while we have it out here, sorry for not loving you. Oh, wait, not sorry for loving you, my bad. I can't read. I have thoughts on this one. On one hand, I like Calypso, and she is a cool character, and her singing voice is really pretty, and I do enjoy listening to this song just because I like her as a singer. But at the same time, like, the lyrics and the point behind this song aren't as great. It's definitely better than Love in Paradise, because, okay, everybody, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Luckily for you guys, you didn't have to hear that because I'm editing the coughing out, but Jesus Christ, that kind of hurt. Alright, anyway. Not sorry for loving you. I think just the stuff that Calypso does is very controversial, and I don't want to get into it a whole ton, just because there's, like, so many opinions on it. And, like, a lot of it, I can understand all sides of it, and, like, I get where everyone's coming from. Like, on one hand, assaulting Odysseus like that isn't okay, but on the other hand, she doesn't know any better. But on the other hand, she's been cursed, but on the other hand, it's still bad. You know, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, different sides to it and, like, stances you could take on Calypso as a character. So, because of how controversial it is, it's definitely not an S tier song. But I do enjoy listening to it just because I like Calypso and her voice is pretty. It's also a fun one to sing. You know, like, it flows nice. I think the general, like, it fits with my vocal range very well. So I have fun singing it. I don't know. It's just not S. So we're gonna put that right down there. Speaking of Calypso, I'm gonna get Love in Paradise out of the way too, because only half of this song is good. The first half, where Athena's like talking, like recapping the events of Epic, is a little unnecessary. But I do enjoy the second half when Calypso shows up, because once again, I do enjoy her singing voice, and like her character is a very like interesting one, you know. So I enjoy that half, and it's also really funny because she's like, "Tell me though, who's Penelope?" And he's like, "She's my wife," and she's like, what's a wife?" You know. I think me and one of my friends like to headcanon that she doesn't know what a wife is because she doesn't know what marriage is because she's been cursed on an island for so long. We find that pretty funny. So I'm gonna put Love in Paradise in B tier just because only half of it's good, and I can't put half a song in A tier. So yeah, there it goes. Hey, that one didn't hurt this time. Let's go. All right. Boo, this one. Speaking of controversial characters, we've got Hold Them Down. I like this song. I really do. It's a fun song to listen to. All of the suitors have good singing voices, and it's a very entertaining song. However, murdering a prince of Ithaca and assaulting the queen isn't exactly great. Don't do that, guys. So, I really want to put this song in S tier because it is one of my favorite Epic songs. But at the same time, the morals behind it aren't great. So, what do we do? You know what? Fuck it. S tier. I don't care. It's a good song, and I enjoy jamming out to it. And if you're just like doing something and not really paying attention to the lyrics, it's great. Until you start paying attention to the lyrics, and he's like, "Hey yo, I'm gonna assault the queen," and you're like, "Oh." So you know what? That just it gets to stay there because I like that song. All right. This is the last one of the Ithaca saga, I think. We have I Can't Help But Wonder. This song is really good just because, again, I like Telemachus, and it's very heartwarming to see the both of them reunite. But it's definitely not as good as the other songs that I have in S tier, so I'm going to put it in A. I don't really have any other thoughts to it besides that, but, you know, it's good. I like the fact that Athena's in it for a little bit. I do like that he's like, "Hi, Athena, love you. Great that you're here and talking to me again, but, I've been away from my wife for like 20 years, so I'm a go." And she's like, "Oh, okay, go for it." I don't know, it's a very good song. It's very silly. Speaking of silly songs, Suffering! S tier, immediately. I'm not even gonna hesitate or think about it or explain myself. It just goes up there. I think it's definitely very silly and entertaining because I like Sirenelope as a character. She's very adorable, and part of me thought that Sirenelope was gonna sound like Penelope, but they turned out to sound completely different, and I love that. And then the animatics that go with the song are also very funny. I'm surprised I haven't brought any of them up by now, but the animatics are great, and that's like part of I listened to Epic once the first time, just like listening to it and watching the lyrics, and then I listened to animatic videos and watched Danny Mata's reaction to it. Somehow, if Danny Mata's watching this, love you. Epic the Musical, your reaction to that is great. I absolutely love it. He's very silly, and a lot of my favorite Epic the Musical moments are from him. And so, like, watching him react to it plus seeing the animatics from both his reaction videos and also just going to watch them, it's just great. I think my favorite animatic is that one of Puppeteer where it's all like pink and pretty and Cersei's got the long ass braid. I don't know what YouTuber made it, but I really like that one. I should probably look it up, right? Yeah, I'm gonna look it up to give credit where credit is due. Okay, is the one by Gigi. That one. That's the best one. I like that animatic. It's my favorite one. I also like the Thunderbringer one by Neil Illustrator. That one's really good too. That's a great animatic. I love it. So the animatics are great, and I think that animatic is very silly, and it's part of the reason why I like that song so much. It's just because I can imagine Odysseus acting super stupid in my head while I'm listening to it. So it just adds to my enjoyment. Okay, next up we have We'll Be Fine. Oh, no, what is... Okay, that was weird. Anyway, we have We'll Be Fine. This is a great song to do karaoke to. I very much enjoy it. So, I like Athena. I like Telemachus. It's a very short, like, quick little song that you could do as a warm-up for said karaoke. So, because of that, I'm putting it right up here in S tier. Alright, next up we have Dangerous. I'm gonna run out of room in S tier, aren't I? This is also going in S tier, just because I've talked about this before, but I love Troy, and so being able to rank his songs in S tier is great, because he deserves it, so it goes up there. I also find this song very silly, and I just really like Hermes as a character in general, so anything with Hermes in it makes me happy, and I'm a little upset that Hermes isn't in this musical more. He's got the 2 songs, and that is it. How dare he? Alright, let's see what all we have left, shall we? Oh, what is... Okay. We only have 4 more. Alright, Different Beasts. I do like this song, but I don't like it nearly as much as everything in A tier, or... No, not S tier, my bad. So I think it's between A and B. We're gonna put it at the bottom of A tier, I think. Just because everything else is better, but, I don't really have any other thoughts on it besides the fact that I like this one, and, yeah, I don't really know how else to explain my reasoning for that one, but there it goes. Last one in the Thunder Saga, we have Scylla. This is going in A tier. Just because I really enjoy this song, and I like Scylla as a character in general, because I think giant, like, multiple-headed monster things are pretty cool. So, seeing a character that is awesome, and the fact that in the song, she has, like, sort of like a weird monster-y echo effect over her voice lines, because of the fact that all of the heads are singing instead of just the one. I find that really awesome. So that gets to go there. And that is the last song on the Thunder Saga that I had to rank. So next up, it's between God Games and Legendary, which are both S tier songs. Legendary is another one of my favorite epic songs, just because it's great to karaoke to, and I also really like Telemachus as a character. He's one of my favorites. So, because of that, that gets to go up there in S tier. As you can see, I'm out of room at S tier, so they're going to stick off the side. But you know what? That's okay. And the God Games also goes in S tier, because I find that song genuinely entertaining. I enjoy listening to all the different voices. I enjoy, like... It is one of those karaoke songs that you would need a lot more people for, because you need at least, like, one person to play 1 or 2 of the gods, So even if you had, like, 3 or 4 people and then you just split them up, it would be fine. But it's still very fun to listen to. S tier for you. Alright, and that is all for Act 2 of the Epic the Musical song ranking. On the S tier, we have The Challenge, Would You Fall in Love with Me Again, Get in the Water, 600 Strike, Legendary, Little Wolf, Hold Them Down, Suffering, Will Be Fine, Dangerous, and God Games. In A tier, we have the monster thing I can never pronounce, Odysseus, I Can't Help But Wonder, Scylla, Not Sorry for Loving You, Different Beasts. In B tier, we have Love in Paradise, and in C tier, we have Mutiny. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you all enjoyed my Epic the Musical song reaction. And I should probably do like a saga ranking also, and maybe like a top 10 favorite characters as well. But that entirely depends on how well this video does. So if you like it, let me know in the comments down below, and I will happily make more of these. Also, if you have any other videos you want me to make, I will happily do that as well. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.